So hopefully now, if I press that, it'll do something. Yay, that's what I wanted. Happy days. I want the trackside cam, which is far, far better. It gives us more of a broadside, doesn't it? Does that give us different angles from it? It certainly does. Yeah, cheers for that, man. Much appreciated. It was a bit last minute jumping into this, so apologies for those of you that are watching the stream that aren't kind of getting the same as you would normally get. It was a bit last minute how we managed to put this together, so apologies on that one. But we should be pretty cool. So now I can do all that, and now I can do all that. Happy days. Sorry if I make you go cross-eyed. Happy days, isn't it? It's all good. It's all good. It's all gravy, man, as they say. Right. Meanwhile, back in Gotham City, we've no idea what Batman was doing, but we're here anyway. Yeah, no worries. Cheers for that one, man. So here we go. This is probably where the sort of chief battle is, isn't it? No disrespect to Jazzy. He's 23 seconds up the road. But you've got these two boys. You know, Reco's in fourth, second, third, fourth, fifth. All the front boys haven't really looked at pitting yet. I mean, this is a good battle. They've been doing this pretty much right from the start, haven't they? In all fairness, they have been doing it. But you'll see that where some cars will catch. Now, the Lambo is pretty cool. It's a nice car. You'll try and get the inside round there, but danger is, like I said before, get yourself on the throttle too much. But you might have to run here because he'll get a slipstream now. But it's whether he can hold it. This is going to be tough. Are you going to outbrake him? It's really, really hard here. If somebody doesn't make a mistake, it's not that easy to pass. It's really quite tough unless... If he can get close enough coming out, like he's backed up a bit here now. If he can get really close now, coming in here, take it inside, get on the pedal a little bit earlier than Ryan, and if he can get the slipstream, then he's got a long enough straight to be able to get on the inside and take turn one off him. But it should start coming in now from the kink, but I don't think it's enough. It's not, and he backs out. Sensible thing. No point. You might as well wait for 3 laps until the opportunity presents itself rather than go in there and mess it all up. Because you mess it all up, it's going to take you 10 more laps before you can get back here again. And you've just really, really wasted a lot of time. See, Ryan's struggling sometimes with that Bentley to get away. So he is proper under pressure. But we'll certainly come back and have a look. There we go. Let's have a bit more light, shall we? We can sit on his bonnet. Not that I recommend that unless you are the Silver Lady of the Rolls Royce. She has got a proper name, but it just escapes me right at the moment. Anyway, shall we have a look round? Let's have a look at people, shall we? Oops, what the hell did that do? Something very weird happened then. I don't know what happened. Something very odd. I think my controller sometimes has this really weird habit of wanting to disconnect itself, which is really annoying, so apologies for that. We're trying to work my way through that one. It's not the easiest thing for me to do. I never use a controller. In truth, very, very rarely do I use a playing spur. Could be. Because there's actually a Rolls Royce called that, isn't there? Or you had to, yeah, it's a Bentley actually. The Bentley is a playing spur, I think. Can't remember now. Memory banks aren't what they used to be. Every time I go to bed and everything just like resets again. It's like Groundhog Day. Allegedly. Right, let's have a look at some people, shall we? Shall we go and have a gander? No, we don't want to sit there again. He's going to catch him. I know the minute I go off these guys, something really good will happen. There, look at all that Alcantara inside that nice Lambo. Don't you wish you could afford all that? But that's a better view. Right, let's go across all these guys. So obviously I can do that with a TV cam, but then if I want to go and view other people, I've got to try and remember how to do that now, because I can't remember anymore. Which is quite funny. The good thing is I've got a map there and I can see where people are. And I can see he's got, wow, okay. Got traction control on 3 and ABS on 5. That's quite an interesting one. But can I scroll up and down people now? I don't think I can I? got to go back to here again. I'd like to do that. I'm assuming. That's what I've got to keep doing. So anyway. So it comes, yeah, it's up to here. I don't know, it's a pain in the bum having to go back to garage because it shows up on the bloody screen, which is really annoying. I hate that, but hey, at the moment we don't have a proper broadcasting suite in this game, which is really disappointing. If obviously with Project Cars 2 kind of set the bar, gave us all a broadcasting suite, and I think we thought that every other game after that was going to come in with something pretty much similar. That was the hope, but unfortunately it hasn't come up. So Iron Saber's decided that he's going in the pits. He's gone for the undercut, I think, which might work out for him. Let's have a look. I want to see. He's probably just going to do what I call a lift and shift. They're going to lift him up, these invisible pitmen. They're going to lift him up, they're going to drop him back down, and off he goes. No fuel, no tyres, no nothing, because there's no need. You just hope that you do it quickly, and if you do it manually to shut your engine off before you actually get to your garage, and you manually start it off again, you can maybe save a second or so. So it's worth it. I don't know what he's doing there. That seems to be taking quite some time. Wow, I'm not sure what happened there. That seemed to be a long pit stop to me. That definitely seemed a long one. Weird. But again, these things happen. That's why I like the longer races. If you do the longer races, there's a bit more strategy in it. Somebody could have a brilliant race and absolutely just muller up their pit stop. There you go, that's Mitch coming past. He's obviously might have new boots on, might have sorted his car out, and obviously might have a bit better pace now with that. That's a very nice looking Audi there. I think it's 24 karat gold. He probably had that taken to Abu Dhabi and it was encrusted in 24 karat gold. The only problem is it now weighs 8 tons. So it's not the ideal thing, is it? Right, let's have a look through people now. We're near the halfway point. So the natural order is pretty much there, apart from the back guys have done their pit stops. Some of the front guys haven't. So you might see some movement in some of those positions as we go into the last half hour. So P-Mitch is 17. We did lose somebody because we did have 18 to begin with, and I'm trying to think who we lost. I can't remember, sorry. If anyone else can remember, let me know, because I haven't got a clue. It's the story of my life, to be quite honest with you. I haven't got a clue most of the time. I think I was born not having a clue. Anyway, if there's anyone in the chat, they can say hello, because I'm going to say hello. Come on, don't be shy, say hello. Anyway, there's Pete. He's just about to be overtaken by our race leader, which probably everybody else will as well. There's Andy in his a black and red and weird looking lemon thing, but it's there. It just basically looks like somebody's had a kebab at the end of the night and thrown up. It really looks that awful. Sorry mate, but your paint job's terrible. It's Todd in the all black. It should be all red really, with the 666 number on the back of it. It should be like proper devil colours with a bit of black thrown in for good measure. But black will do. Black will suffice. Now that's Todd in 12th. John Jig. Again, he's done his pit stop, so that's really not his position. His de facto position probably will not be there, but again, that will sort itself out in due course. Lazy Camel, not being lazy, but he's trying to chuck his Ferrari round in the blue and sort of weird green livery, but it's interesting anyway. I mean, you won't miss it, will you? It looks like a funny sort of frog, but he's doing alright. He's in 10th. The guys in front of him have got a pit. Like, obviously, he's just chasing down Duke Martin. There is obviously on the back of Archie. It's a Bentley in there. You'd have a Bentley and a Ferrari when we get back to the people there, but I think he's getting ready to lock people, and there you go. My man has just said in my ear, oh, we're at the halfway mark. That's a surprise. So he's in that's the M6 Beamer, isn't it? Is that the M6 Beamer? That's another car I haven't tried yet. Oh. And then again, my controller just did that all by itself. Which is kind of weird. So apologies there. My controller is just doing like weird things. It's maybe on fuel saving mode, I'm not sure. But it's really, really bizarre why it does that. I really don't know. So apologies for that. But again, Jazzman 142.1. That's pretty awesome pace. I've got to be fair that. And obviously, lap times might get a bit better as the car becomes lighter with less fuel in it. But you never know. So now I can go there again. And I can get back out there because that's where I want to be so I can see everything properly. And obviously, if I want to change what I'm looking at, I've got to go there again. Wow. Happy days. So I've either got to put up with that on there. It is a bit annoying, but hey, it is what it is. So, Jazzman leads with 28 minutes or so to go. It doesn't tell me how many laps they've done, but my guess was anywhere between 33 and 35. I know Jazzman's done it. He's on 18. And if I look down here, basically other people are +1, but that's probably only because they just haven't got past the start-finish line yet. But they'll be a fair bit behind. But he's setting a pretty good metronome pace here. Is Jared. Fair play to him. Ryan is 34 and a bit seconds behind. Again, it's roughly like a second a minute, isn't it? Give or take. We've done 32 minutes, he's 34 behind. So there's a couple of seconds a lap. 1.5 seconds, 1.7 a lap. Record Vantage having a pretty good race in the Porsche. It's not the easiest car to control that, but if you can, it's pretty quick. It's certainly a decent car, there's no two ways about that. But I think 3 out of the top 4 are Bentleys. That tells you as much as you want. Which is quite good. Let's have a look here. Is that our... Oh, so our race leader has decided to go into pits. He's probably got a big enough lead that he can jump in and come back out and still have track position anyway, I would have thought. Be close, because these pit stops take a little longer than you think, even though it's just a lift and drop. I can't see him changing tyres or anything else. So where's Ryan? Ryan's come past, so Ryan's obviously taking a lead, but he's got to pit himself, so obviously, you know, de facto still going to be first. Iron Saber is 5th. He's just, what's he got? 2 more turns, 3 more turns off the top of my head. Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's got 3 more turns on it. He's coming down into his sharp right-hander, and then he'll go past the infamous yellow sausage curb. But again, pretty good. You can see there's some tyre marks there where some people have run off at some point. Like I say, it'd be a good battle. Again, Jazzman having pitted, he's only 12.5 down, so he's obviously going to pick that back up. Ryan, Recco, I'll be there. Iron Saber lost out with that pit stop. I don't know what happened with that pit stop, but it seemed an inordinately long pit stop. So I don't know whether he messed that up. What exactly happened, I'm sure we'll find out of him later, but that certainly did not go to plan. If he'd have just gone in, lift, drop, out, he would, that battle would have still been going on. So there's definitely something wrong there. So Todd's about to go in and pit. He might get... How far behind him is Lazy Camel? Not altogether sure off the back of that, but we'll see soon enough, and then he'll just be able to see what's going on with this. So I'm going to jump back up there again, and then let's see what we can see. If I do that again, just so I can look at a few other angles, if they're going to give me any more angles. Yeah, we got a few. We got a couple. I do like a trackside cam, which is what they had in, obviously, in Project Cars. That was a good that just gave us a good overall view. It's just a case of having a look and seeing what you've got at different times. But the fact of, it's a bit annoying that you can't just change cars and stuff without doing what you want to do. That's it. That just does become a little bit annoying. But hey ho, we'll get used to it. So there you go, let's jump inside a Ferrari. If ever you wanted to. So again, you look at, I don't know if anyone's noticed, but if you look at the difference between different people, like he's got traction control on 6 and ABS on 6. Some people might consider that high, but it's depends on the car, depends on how the car's set up. Just so you can see what's going on. And then I've got to go there again so I can return to garage so I can actually change to somebody else. Isn't that good? If we got who are fighting pretty closely. Oh, Todd's got to drive through. I told you about the perils of that. You run slightly wide, you'll get a track cut penalty, even though you're probably not really gained much of an advantage. Do it 3 times, and then your 4th one is a drive through. It's a bit annoying. In fact, it's a lot annoying. What I'm going to do, I want to have a look here. We got a little battle going on here, which is allegedly, oh, it said it was closer than that between Andy and Enzo. There's like 9 seconds in it, but still 23 minutes to go. I think there we got a battle though, haven't we? So Todd is obviously not on the same lap, but Windsor and Archie most definitely are, with a 0.59 gap between the two of them. So we'll have a little look at these two boys for a moment or two. But I'm just keeping an eye on the front 3 as well, just to see what's going on there. I think Andy's reining in Enzo a little bit. That gap I think has come down a tad. It's 7.4 now. I think it was about 8 point something earlier on. So that's obviously going to drop in. Duke Martin's gone into the pits now, so that's gonna probably drop him a little bit. Oh, did Archie just lose it a little bit there? I think he just had a little wiggle. Yes, he certainly did. I'm just watching that again. Not much, but enough to lose him a little bit. So he'll have to come back. But again, this is a good little battle, so it's worth keeping an eye on for a moment or two. Even though we got that down in the middle of the flipping thing again. Even though I don't want it there. There, that's what I want. I want to move it over there again. So I can keep pressing that and that'll just do that. Right, happy days. So Record Advantage has taken the lead, obviously, as Ryan's decided to get in and pit. So he's gone for the undercut on Reco. Obviously, he's going to get chased down by Jazzy. Undoubtedly. So that'll give Jazzman the lead, and obviously the lead then is for him over Iron Saber from a de facto perspective. John Jig might end up being back in 3rd after all the people in front of him pit, or 3rd or 4th. I think probably 3rd. Enzo's obviously pitted as well, so is Andy. So you start to see this get a bit of a gain as we're heading down into the last quarter of an hour and the juicy bit. Again, look at the temperature, like I said before. It's now starting to drop off. You've got 18 track, 21 ambient. We were 21, 26 a little bit earlier. So if those people have not slightly overinflated their tyres, they're going to start to lose a bit of pressure, and obviously they're going to start to lose a bit of grip. So that could play a part with certain people, depending on what they've done with the tyres. But I think I've got a feeling that Reco will probably go in and pit, because it's pointless. He's going to have Jazzman jumping up behind him. It's pointless racing that. That's just going to wreck your tyres. It's pointless trying to hold him off. At the end of the day, you know, he's already pitted. You haven't. That's not where the fight is, really, if I'm quite honest. The battle isn't there. So obviously, Jazzman will come through and take the lead. Reco's, is he going to stay out? That's the question. I think he'll pit. It makes more sense for him to pit. And then it's a case of is he going to have to battle with Iron Sabre and Ryan? It's quite possible. Actually, I think he'll come up behind them. The proper battle is going to be, you're going to have Iron Sabre and Ryan again, probably. That's quite likely, I would have thought. But we shall see. Yeah, that's the beauty of racing. You just don't know what's going to happen. Let's be honest. You really haven't got a clue. Anything could happen. A lot of the time, anything will happen. But one certainty in life is that Jazzman's probably going to win, unless he makes a mistake. But that's all credit to him. It's for the rest of us to try and get better. That's the challenge. If you've got a guy who's dominant like he is, then you've got one or two things you can do. You can either moan, or you can try and do something about it. And trying to do something about it is the way forward. So again, let's have a look through. So is Recco Vantage going to stay out? He's going to keep out for now. I still think I'd pit at this point, but again, he might think, well, I've got pretty clean air in front of me for a bit. Is it worth me staying out? And he obviously is. Coming up to on the back of Enzo, obviously to lap him, but obviously Enzo's pitted and he hasn't. But again, that could give him a bit of slipstream and stuff like that. There's tons of variables, let's be honest. They've only got a couple of guys that haven't pitted, and obviously that's Recco and that's Archie. Archie will probably lose a good few places. He'll end up probably south of 10th, I would have thought. Might get 11th, might jump in around there, give or take. There won't be a lot in it. But again, it'd be looking then for Iron Sabre and Ryan. I went to say Ryan Rooney, not Ryan Ruby. Sorry, mate. I don't know where that came from. So here we go. He might get, obviously there's a blue flag there, but he might try, he might try and just get a little bit of slipstream off Grey Wolf coming down there before he drops on the inside of him. Or will he come round the outside? Again, like I said, it's a late apex turn. But if you get that turn absolutely spot on, you can make a load of time. Conversely, you can lose a load and all. So there you go. Oh, I think Grey Wolf there was looking to go wide to the right to give Iron Sabre a bit of room. But I think the way that corner went was, obviously Iron Sabre's car naturally went over to the right hand side, so that could have caused a little bit of a problem, but in all fairness I think they both worked with it well. So there you go. Recco Vantage has got Jazzman right on his gearbox, or up his exhaust pipe, depending on what metaphor you wish to use, but they all sound rude, don't they? Doesn't really matter which one you use, it sounds a bit wrong. And I've never been one who's been short of shying away from something like that. That's not my scene. Anyway, so Jazzman de facto leader. Iron Sabre will be obviously in second place, but you can see there's a fair gap there between them. Ryan 8.7 seconds behind. That's a battle, like I said earlier, that might materialise into a battle for the podium, but at the moment Iron Sabre has certainly got a decent gap on there. Archie still holding on to that fifth, but he's going to lose that to John Jig. Probably to PlayStation voucher code name, man. Which is definitely, I could call him Q2, couldn't I? Because they're his first two letters. But no, it's going to be PlayStation voucher code. Andy got himself up to 8th. Again, Duke Martin a bit behind. Andy might look to see if it's feasible that Andy could get top 5. Maybe even chase down Ryan. I mean, he's going to get past Archie to 7th when Archie pits. So that's definitely going to be a possible. But it's how much time we got coming into the final quarter of the race. So it'll be interesting. It'll be good to see what happens. So there's Jazz. Recco's still staying out. And whether he's thinking, I'm going to pit right to death. There you go. You've just lost it. Your tyres are dropping off. I know that's what it'll be. The tyre pressures are dropping off. And Jazzman obviously takes over the lead. I still think Recco would have been better off going into the pits, maybe. I don't know in this game if you can actually alter the tyre pressures without changing them. Like in Project Cars, you could go into the pits and they'd change your tyre pressures by default, even if you didn't want them, which was a pain in the bottom. But in this game, you could use that to your advantage. But again, these are things that you hope will pick up on. So again, Recco's still going to decide not to pit, and I don't know whether that's a good thing at this time, especially having lost the rear a bit. So Jazzman leads, Iron Sabre probably de facto second, Ryan Ruby again gaining a bit. So Ryan is looking to reel in Iron Sabre a bit. As you can see there, you've got Lazy Camel in between, who Ryan might look to, if he gets close enough, get a bit of a slipstream off him. Because you've got to use all these things to your advantage. It's got to be done. Blue flags are blue flags, but I mean, if you can get a slipstream as well, then that's even better. John Jig probably like de facto 6 or de facto 5 probably. In reality, you hope that some of these are going to clear some air with lapped riders, but hopefully we will pick up a little bit. You start to see the proper gaps now as where they all are. You've only got Recco Vantage who hasn't pitted, everybody else has, so the natural order has placed itself. What's happened to Enzo there? He's obviously something's happened to him. I don't know whether he's ended up slipping or whatever, and that's dropped him right the way down. But again, I think the tyre pressures catch somebody like him out. With all due respect, he is still quite young. I think he's 14. Correct me if I'm wrong later, Enzo. But he's 14. The boy's got the pace, so there's plenty of stuff for him to build on as he gets into his later teens. I think he'll be a pretty decent driver. Probably by the time he gets to like 18, 19, I think he'll be really, really good. So, watch this space. P. Mitch again into 16th in that lovely golden encased Audi there. Guitar Rich in his Beamer. He is the only Beamer in the field. Not surprising, really. I don't know what it is as a car. It's a pretty heavy beast. That I think it is the heaviest GT3, believe it or not. You can check that out, but I believe it is the heaviest car, just by curb weight. Tord again in 14th. He's doing all right. He's having a pretty solid race. Pete in 13th. That Lazy Camel who's shifting his bottom, so he's not that lazy. He's in 12th. Grey Wolf having a good one in the Merc in 11th. Obviously Lazy Camel is trying to look and chase him down a bit. He's got a bit of a gap before Windsor 102. That's Ryan obviously who is in front, but I'm sure Grey Wolf won't mind having a bit of a toe off him if he can get it. Windsor 102 in the sort of creamy coloured in the sky Ferrari. He's had it all from Sky. Well, fair enough. I should have one of them. I pay him 180 quid a month. I should get a Ferrari for that. Duke Martin into 9th. Obviously in that lovely GTR. Everyone loves Godzilla. Actually, most people don't, but I've used that for a season and I actually like it as a car. Godzilla's a lovely car. Just doesn't get all the love, I'm afraid. So there's a 10-second gap there to Andy with this, like, you got to tell me what you call that colour scheme, mate. It's revolting. I'm sorry. It's horrible. It just looks like, I don't know, you blindfolded a child and said, paint me something. And they've ended up with that. So sorry, mate. I think you should get back in this box if you're going to have a car with that sort of paint job. It's just wrong. So that's Andy in 8th. In 7th you've got Archie, who we will eventually see. I think we had drunk cameraman there. So he's just coming up on the back of Pete. But he's got 9 seconds on Andy, so he maybe might make a bit of time while he's lapping some people. Then again, you've got a bit of a gap there into the PlayStation Voucher Code named person. He's in a very nice Bentley. It looks... Actually, that should be the Lazy Camel's car because it looks like camel sort of coloured, almost sand. Not quite, but again, good solid race in 6th. John Jig up to 5th, obviously. As the de facto would take him up to there. And there you go. My stupid controller has disconnected itself again. which is really, really annoying. There you go. Hopefully that'll bring it back. No, actually it won't. It's totally disconnected itself. And now I can't do anything with it. Isn't that brilliant? Don't you just love it when that happens? So I got a wireless controller that is totally disconnected, and there's absolutely sweet FA I can do about it. So in the meantime, while that's happening and you're looking at that, which looks rubbish, I'm trying to fire up my McLaren wheel to see if I can run it off that instead. So excuse me while we do this. And there, I can do it with my wheel instead. It's not ideal, but I can do it with that, and I know what I'm doing, kind of. So let's have another run. We're into the last 10 minutes. This is where it's really getting decent, because you got John Jig there, and who's that behind? Oh, it's P-Mitch. That's okay. So there's a bit of a gap there. Enzo's staying in the pits. I think he's had a guts full for whatever reason, but I think it's a case of, I think it's the tyres probably dropping off and losing the rear. That's what I reckon. P-Mitch then obviously having a little run off the back of John Jig. Guitar Rich then in 15th. Doing well. Toured again in 14th there, doing okay. Pete in 13th. Lazy Camel in 12th. Grey Wolf, a very creditable 11th. In the AMG. It's a nice car, that AMG. I know it's a big beastie, but it actually handles pretty well, in all fairness. 10 seconds in front of him is Windsor 102. And then in front of him will be Duke Martin in Godzilla into 9th place. Andy into 8th. Oh, he's again, now he knows what I'm on about now when I said about the tyres dropping off. That was a perfect scenario to see that. It really, really, really does make those tyres drop off a fair bit. Probably first half an hour, probably didn't see much different. Into the third quarter, probably starts dropping off a tad, but not terribly. And that's why he's probably struggling now into some of these corners. And if you slide that rear tyre, in this game, you need a couple of laps before you calm them down. And you ain't got that with 7 minutes left, especially if you're trying to chase somebody down. So here's Archie in the 7th place, looking pretty solid, but there's a bit of a gap there to... Oh, there you go, it's now told me there's like 4 and a bit seconds between those two. I love the relative times in this game. They can be quite confusing, I've got to be honest with you. If you went by them alone, you'd be in a right mucking puddle. And I did say it that way around, just in case you run this back. Because it's still before the 9 o'clock watershed, and I'm not saying any naughty words. So, John Jiggin in 5th. He's got to try and chase Ryan down, but he's 5.6 seconds. Best part of, 4 laps in which to try and catch him up. Probably going to be slightly less laps than I thought. I said between 33 and 35. Man, you're saying that. Jazz has done 31, so... I might well be quite on the ball with my estimate there. Not that I'm taking any credit for that, of course. Not. Yeah, right. So, Ryan there, 5.8 seconds behind Recco there. So, there's Recco coming around into the start-finish straight. So, he's coming in to complete lap 31 and start up on lap 32, or is it complete lap 30 and start lap 31? I don't know, I'm totally confused, which is not difficult. In fact, it's anything but difficult. So he's in 2nd. Iron Saber's only 6 seconds behind him. He will be trying his proverbial best in that Lambo to get his horns out and try and get up with that porker in front of him. And again, Ryan Ruby, 4.8 seconds off the back of him. Now these 4, that's your podium fight right there. So again, I've had to change to this, so I probably don't have a TV camera anymore, and I don't really want to go into that again now. If I can help it, I will see if I can get this my original controller to work again, but it doesn't want to do anything. It's just one of them nights, isn't it, where everything just goes Pete Tong. I was going to say turn to shit, but it's before 9 o'clock, so I'm not going to say turn to shit. So just imagine I'd never said that, just erase it from your mind. So let's have a little quick look then as we're coming into probably the last 2 or 3 laps. Jazzman's happily got his 32 laps completed. Running around now. So he should be on, I'm assuming he's on lap 33 now. I always get this the wrong way around. I think he's completed 32 and he's on lap 33. Because I think it'll say that on his screen, whereas my screen tells me how many laps have been duly completed so far. Or thus far if you're from America. Because that's how it is. And that's how they speak. So hopefully there's no great dramas, and he'll come in and he'll take another pretty dominant win, in all fairness to him. No, it's more about patience. If you're not being tested, you're not being put under any pressure, which, without being rude, he has not been. But that's not his fault. You know, that's hours and hours of practice, and trust me, it is hours and hours of practice, because he's told me it's not a secret. You want to get good at this game, you got to put the hours in. It's not like another game. You can't pick this game up and play and drop it. It does not work like that. Not at all. Not in the slightest. So, you know, if you got any thoughts about wanting to be decent at this game, don't be lazy. Put the hours in. You'll reap the rewards. Maybe not as many rewards as this man, because you got to have some talent there and all. And he's certainly got plenty of that. But it's there. The challenge is there to be made. And that's what we've all got to do. Put this guy under some pressure. Give him some challenges. You always get better if you race with better people. And hopefully in the not too distant future we can get some threads set up in the community just to help us. You know, people can share setups and stuff like that. It will help. It'll be nice. It'll help for everybody to maximise what they can do, you know, and be the best that they can be at their relative level. Unless you're me, in which case I need new arms and legs, so I've got no hope. Anyway, let's have one run through before we get into the last lap or so. I'm just looking to see. Actually, the next lap will be the last lap. So my guess around 34, 35. Sorry to sound cocky, but I was spot on, wasn't I? Laugh at me if you must. So, Guitar Rich 15th after P Mitchin 16. Enzo, I think. No, I think the temperature change and the ultimate tyre pressure changes caught him out there. But again, like I said before, there's no shame in that. It's something that you learn and you'll get better from it, just like we all do, hopefully. So Tordin, lucky 13th for a guy with a black 666. The Lazy Camel in 12th. Oh, well, actually, we will see him eventually when our cameraman decides that. So there you go. Jazzy's into the last one now as race leader. Look at Grey Wolf there. He's probably not going to catch Duke Martin there in 9th. Is he on the back of Andy? No, I don't think he is. No, he's not. It's Guitar Rich. So there's a bit of a gap there. Archie, big gap there, obviously, to PlayStation Voucher Man. That's your name. John Jig. Ooh, that was a bit of a bounce, wasn't it? So Mr. Ruby, here they go. I thought these guys would come back together. I thought that was going to happen. They're not going to pull Reco Vantage in. I think he's far enough ahead. Ooh, this is where we're going to stay. No offence to anybody else, but this is where it is for the battle for the last place on the podium. Ryan's having a look. He's having a look up the inside. Oh, he's caught him. He's caught him. Oh no, man! You got to let him back past. You got to let him back past. Oh, Iron Saber's going to cook his tyres. You're going to have to wait, Ryan. That might. Come on, Iron Saber. Don't. The problem is he's probably lit those bloody rear tyres up now. So, and I know in fairness to Ryan, he's trying to hold back and let him back in. The danger is, does it let anyone else back into it? So he's flashing him to let him past, and we'll resume for the last half lap. But that's it, he's let him pass. The problem is, I think Iron Saber's going to have cooked rear tyres. So apologies for not seeing Jazzman cross the line, but congratulations to you. I'll give you some applause from me. Another flawless effort, mate. The rest of us mere mortals can just look in awe at what you can do in these cars in this game. Reco Advantage will obviously take the second. Ryan's got the inside here, but can he hold it? Can he hold it? No. Iron Saber, well done, mate. Got the switchback, came back round, held it off. You've got the two right-hand corners coming up. And it's a pity they couldn't pull in. They might have pulled in Reco Advantage without them two both coming together, but in all fairness, they've done it right. So it sometimes happens. We're not pros. Mistakes happen, don't they? But he's got one last chance now, Ryan. If he can actually come off this corner better, he's got to try it. He's not going to do it. Good battle though, boys. Good battle. Good track etiquette, done in the right and proper way. So I'll give you some applause for that too. Reco Advantage, a good second place for you, mate. Well done. Third and fourth for you too. So Iron Saber takes the podium. John Jig comes in fifth. I thought he was going to plough into the back of him then. Sixth place will be coming in for... See, it's starting to get dark now, and you think it's like 7 p.m, but this is South Africa, so it's obviously getting darker still. So, a good old 6th place there. Archie in 7th. Andy got himself back up to 8th after a pretty crappy start. I'm sure you won't mind me saying that, mate, but it wasn't the greatest of starts. But you did pretty well underneath. Managed to get it together, considering you don't really have many hours racing in this game. I think that's a pretty solid effort, mate. Did some 44s, got some decent lap times in the race. Duke Martin, a good top 10, wins a 102 in 10th. Grey Wolf, brilliant 11th, mate, well done. Lazy Camel, 12th. Tord in 13th. You had to be 13th with a 666 car, didn't you? It had to happen, mate. Pete in 14th. Guitar Rich in 15th. P-Mitch in 16th. Enzo in 17th. I think you got caught out there with the tyres. Let me know after, but I think that probably caught you out a little bit. But hey, it's a learning curve, mate. Don't worry about it. Video Gamer, again, you're pretty new to it. Certainly into our league. It didn't go your way, mate. That's a shame. But would have been nice if you'd have stuck around. Stick it out. Use it as a learning curve. It's easy done if things go wrong. It is really, really easy done to get annoyed. I should know that. I've been there, done that, and seen it. Wore the t-shirt, drunk the drink. You know what I mean. I hope you enjoyed tonight. The thing that I'll say is, obviously, because it was a bit last minute, we had a few technical hitches and a few things didn't go quite to plan. That's a bit of a shame. I would have preferred it to have gone a lot more swimmingly than this. The only thing that I can guarantee is that my mouth will keep going no matter what. That's why I'm called MotorMouth. It's there for a reason. I never bloody stop. It's perpetual verbal diarrhea. At least I can say it myself, so you can't offend me, don't worry about it. But hopefully, if you watch this, whether you watch it retrospectively later, apologies that it's not up to the standard you wanted. It's not up to the standard I wanted either, nor Andy for that matter. But the show must go on. Sometimes things happen. We gotta make sure that the show goes on. We'll be better situated later. I knew I was doing this about an hour or so ago, so don't worry about it. We'll do whatever we need to do to make sure the show goes on. So again, hope you enjoyed this tonight. Hope you will come and watch again next week. Same time, same place. I might commentate again next week. Let Andy have a drive again. It's no big deal to me. It's not a problem. Let other people drive and stuff like that. So it's all good fun. We're all in it for the same reason. We all love motor racing. And we all love watching motor racing. So hope you have a good night. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Whether you have a good race or not so good a race. Hey, it's here for the enjoyment, isn't it? We've been Motive Racing. I've been MotorMouth. Come and join us in the Discord or if you watch this and you want to send us a PSN, get involved. Send one to either myself, I'm MotorMouth V12, you'll find me on PSN. Andy C, WFC, you'll find him on there. You'll find Lightblade on there. You'll find Freeman82 on there. If you want to get involved, send us that. Come along, get yourself involved in this. Instead of watching it, be part of it. Right, there's plenty of room for you all. Whether you're fast, you're slow, doesn't matter. The main thing is that you're safe and you learn to be better, which is what we all do. So, have a brilliant evening, ladies and gents. We will see you soon for some more on the Motive Racing channel. See you soon. Have a good day. Stay safe. Yeah, and he's nowhere near me. He's not even close to me yet. He'll get close when I brake here. but he's not even close to me. Now he is, because I struggle around here, and if he gets close to me like that, I just stay here. You'd have to go around the outside. There you go, you have to go around the outside now. I just lift up. Can't get close to me on the straights. Like you'll see here. I know, but that's down to him, not me. Yeah, but you can't move.
This week, everybody decides to crash in Race A. Race B sees an Audi meets Barry on. And Race C sees an Aston Martin leave stage left. And welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2022. And we're on week 23. Yes, we are heading towards halfway in the year. Now this week we have one very decent and interesting race. And then the other two races are a bit but let's talk about this very decent race first of all. And it's interesting. We're at Lego Maggiore, like we will be nearly most weeks with the amount of layouts here. But we're specifically at the East End Reverse. And we are in Group B cars. Yes, we're in rally cars, folks. Look at that in the background. Let's jump to the race details and find out what is happening here then. So we're racing 10 laps here. Yes, it's a short circuit. It's a grid start without traction control. But it's four-wheel drive, so you should be fine. And we're on comfort soft tyres with all the usual shenanigans at the bottom. Yes, comfort soft tyres. So the car is a little bit oversteery. It's a little bit crazy this race, and oh my word, is it fun. You should be seeing timestamps in the background as well if you want to skip this race. I'd advise you not to. I want to jump to another race. There they are. Do that in the video down below. Without further ado, let's jump straight to it right now. We are then at the start. Now, a mixture of Group B cars here, Toyotas, Fords. The WRX was at the top. I chose that. Now, you can't change the differential. You can't put traction control. You can't really do anything in this car. So, literally, foot down, off you go. You will get a little bit of wheel spin. I lifted a little bit there to go, but I'm not sure it matters that much, to be honest with you. But, look at this. Down here towards turn one. And I was expecting carnage here with no DR or SR updates. I didn't mention that in the intro. But there wasn't actual carnage there, which is kind of interesting. Everybody knows that corner. We make it through fairly okay. Arky's in front of us here. Shout out to Arky's again, of course, and does YouTube. Check him out. As we head up then towards this left-hander, I just back out. I'm like, no way. The German there goes way too crazy into that corner. Arky's just gets it slightly wrong, trying to avoid them. We'll take that 2 for 1, or it was meant to be, until we got pushed out by the German here. We just keep it on the circuit. We keep it tight, but everybody else goes to the right. How many cars are up there? That's madness. So obviously this corner, absolutely crazy lap one, and then we get pushed off by the German. They come back onto me. Okay, I'll just straight line this bit, and then they go off, and then they spin and take out somebody else, and we survive all of this somehow. With everybody turn one, oh not turn one, the lap that hairpin on lap one. That's crazy. It'll be crazy every race, so just keep your eye out there because the braking is so easy to get wrong, which I'll explain later on. Right, anyway, we're in P7. We survived all of that carnage. Let's see what we can do now. Try and get towards that P1 then with 9 laps to go. So we're going to head up towards this left-hander then. What we're going to do here with MGT up ahead. Oh, somebody's got it. Oh, a couple of people got it. Oh my word, they're on the inside. They're on the inside of the sausage. We get on the inside of the Brit then up into P6, and we got Blade just off there. We're going to head down in towards this left-hander again. We got people running wide. We got people drifting. We got people in each other. Oh, it's not even a buy one get one free. It's buy two get one free there. Look at that. Oh, free. Buy two get one free, not free. We got 3 places though, we'll take it. Through we go then. P3, podium position already. And we have 8 laps to go in order to get the lead. In fact, we're going into a lap, guys. So turn 1 on the left hand side, you've got the start of the curb and the end of the curb, sort of like where it indents into the track a lot. You're braking in the middle of that. Now you want to straight line the braking as much as possible. You can do an aggressive slide into this corner and accelerate out quite quickly. It's better to be safe though and straight line the braking as much as possible. So just after the start of the curve, but before it indents a lot there, turn 1, that's when you're going to straight line the braking. Now, the right side here, you're braking quite early here. So it's not the first brake marker, it's the second brake marker. It's before the crest of the hill. You're going to brake at that point. Now, it feels really early. It really does. But because of the comfort soft tyres, you want to keep it tight and turn in and then accelerate out the corner. It's all about accelerating out the corner here, not going aggressive into the corner. Now, as you come through here, this is where it's going to get a little bit sketchy. So I'm braking here, and you're aiming for that there that I pointed out. Now, you brake early here. You want to slow the car down as much as possible. Remember, you're going over the crest of a hill. The whole of the car will lift if you don't slow it down enough. Now, as you see here, as I've landed, or literally the car's flattened with the weight, I've then gone hard on the brakes. Now, this is actually a little bit too late. I needed to brake earlier before the hill, and you can see that here as I just slide away. That's how easy it is to get the braking wrong. As you see people behind still getting it wrong there. Throw it out of the corner, try and cut a lot of the left here, and then you're going to brake in a straight line here, just a little bit. It's just after the curb. Brake in a straight line, drop it down a little bit in speed. You should go under 90 miles an hour, and then you want to just roll the car through the corner. You see I'm trying to balance it, roll it, and then accelerate through the corner as so. And I could do that a little bit better later on as well. I've gone up to P2 then with Fredo, 79 here, in towards the braking. We got to say that brake mark feels so early, but it is actually right, believe it or not, especially in time trial where you'll carry more speed. In the race, obviously you've got fuel and tyre wear, so the car's heavier, not accelerating as much. As we come into here, again, we're trying to brake and slow the car down. We get it all sorts of wrong. Trying to follow Fredo's speed, which wasn't wise there. Fredo goes for a full-on drift there and makes it work somehow, keeping that P2 position for now. As we go to the left again, we're just trying to let the car roll through the corner. I try and just make it so I know I'm going to not understand to the barrier like Fredo did there. So Fredo does, we accelerate through, up into P2 then, and we're looking a lap later then where we've caught up. We're actually going to lap somebody on race 8. This is unusual. So Electro Knight definitely hadn't practiced any of this. He lapped already. 50-second lap. They go towards the left-hand side. They're ghosted. They're then going to come towards the right-hand side, but we're going to go through them all the same. Thank you, ghosting. At least that's working here as we then go into this corner once again. And you can see there, braking on that brake marker is perfect. It's the perfect brake marker. Just use it. So we're going to advance a bit later on. Then, as we come into here, again, we're trying to slow the car down as much as possible. And that's how you do it. Notice there, we've got it slowed down enough. The car was perfect. There was no oversteer. Remember, going over the crest of the hill, if you go on the brakes, the weight's going to have transitioned already, so it's not efficient braking. It's so hard to get it right, which is why every single lap, there's going to be carnage at that corner, and you've really got to get it sorted, really, in terms of your braking. Slow it down earlier, and then you'll have a better corner. So we're going to try to go around the outside of the German here for P1. Doesn't quite work out. They give me room as well. Beautiful racing there from Volley Khan. Carney? I'm not too sure. As we leave that corner then, we're looking towards the left-hand side. We're not quite overlapping here, so it'll be a bit of a dive if we go for this move. Then let's see what happens. Heading towards this left-hander, we go for the move. We are braking, just trying to stop it, but the German gets it stopped beautifully there. It carries on around the outside. Let's advance to the next lap then, because nothing really changes. In we go then, and we got one more chance in towards his hairpin, but beautiful defense there from the German. Stops it, bang on the apex. I can't do anything there. I'll leave the corner then, and there's only one more corner I can make a move on, and it's this last corner coming up. It's an unusual corner, but a lot of people go too aggressive here. As you see, the German does there. You want to accelerate just through the corner, absolutely belt it. We go for the move on the outside, but unfortunately it's not quite enough there, finishing in P2. But this race, honestly, give it a try. You have no issues with racing changes here, so just enjoy it, have fun. There will be crashes. You will be involved in some crashes, but take it for the fun that it is. Enjoy this race. It is a good fun race, and I highly recommend you just try it out and have a good laugh for a change, rather than being all serious. Why so serious? As Daniel will say from Asheville. Right, that's it for race A. Let's jump to race B then, where we're in Group 4 machinery at Yamagiwa. So, as it is Group 4, there's only really one car you can pick. Yes, you've guessed it. It's the manufacturer that isn't a partner, but apparently is based on the BOP at least. It's the Subaru WRX Group 4 car. Of course it is. There is potentially another car, but we'll talk about that in the race. Let's have a look at these race details then. What are we doing at Yamagiwa? Well, we are racing 5 laps here. It's a rolling start, but you should all be fine. We're just about starting all on the straight, and we are on racing car tyres with the usual information. Big shout out now to TCR Heinz 04. Part TCR, of course, if you do want to join. Check out the old description. Beautiful livery. That is the livery design. That is all we need to know in terms of race details. Let's jump to race and find out exactly what happens, as well as a lap guide for you beautiful people. Here we are then at the start. Mostly Subarus. I say there is an Alfa Romeo or two in here, and that is the other car potentially in question in terms of how good it is, because it does have a lot of downforce to be fair. We can take some of these corners pretty well because they are fast, high-speed corners, aren't they? Right, we start anyway, P15 on the straight, which is nice for a change, of course, being this far back into on the grid. I'm going to head towards turn 1 and straight into a lap guide, unusually for race B. So on the right side, the last tree on the right, it's just after the 50-meter board. Use that as your brake marker. You're going to drop to 4th gear and get it turned in. Now, the whole goal here is that once you know where you are in terms of the apex, look for those billboards potentially, you accelerate out. Now, 90 miles an hour is a good apex speed to aim for if you can do it. Now, don't really go for the move here unless you're really far overlap him, and you will suffer from dirty air a little bit here. This is flat normally, but because I'm behind P13 black, I am going to have to lift there just because of that dirty air, even in grid 4. So, heading down towards this left-hander. It's after the 50-meter board and just before the marshal box on the right-hand side. Now, I'm going to obviously go for the move here, so it's a little bit different to what you will see, but we'll see it later on anyway. As you go into here, you want to stay above 100 miles an hour normally, and then literally accelerate through the corner. The minute you hit 100, just go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it, and you should make it out the other side. Just use that as a bit of a benchmark there. Heading down towards the chicane then, on the right side, you have the 150, but you're looking for that 100-meter board or the white line if you want to use that. I'm braking just before it, not at it, just before it. As you go through the week, you may want to brake at it and really try and push those boundaries. So you can go super aggressive here, try and cut as much of the chicane as you can, or you can do what I did there and go really, really, really safe. I've spanned too many times already in GT7 at that chicane, so safety for me as we then head up towards this hairpin then. Now, the end of the text where it says 35R, that is what you're using as a bit of a brake marker here. Now, as you get to the end of this text, the yellow marker, hit the brakes. I'm going to actually go for the move here as well on the inside of the GTR, well spotted. They're actually in Paul Walker's livery there, if you notice, the GTR. Wrong skyline, but I understand it. Anyway, head out of that corner, we're going to head down towards this, and you're going to let the car roll a little bit here, and as you hit the end of the curb here, you're going to straight line this, and you're going to brake, and you want to drop to 3rd gear, actually, in the Subaru. You can mount the curb a bit more in the Subaru than other cars, so if you want to do that, go for it. I don't mount it at all here, but on other laps, I do mount it, because sometimes mounting is good. Apparently. Anyway, in towards the last corner, 50-meter board on the left-hand side, that's your brake marker. 2 lines you can take here. You can go for a very tight line, or go for the sort of outside line and a later apex. Now, I'm going for the later apex here to get the run out the corner, and you can see there the marks on the curve where you would go for that later apex. We'll leave that corner, and this is the benefit of that. Look at the run we get on Fredo here as we go on the inside. In fact, we saw Fredo in race A, didn't we? So we've seen Fredo twice. Who loves a good Freddo as well, the chocolate bar or the chocolate sweets, it's so nice. Anyway, we're on the inside, in towards turn 1 we go, and we get the job done there. They're definitely on the path. We've seen the flashing lights for days there in the background. We accelerate through the corner and continue on up the hill, and lots of cars ahead, mainly Subarus. Got an Audi TT there actually, weirdly. Oh, the French driver's got all sorts of wrong here. So I was a little bit worried here that they would understeer off too much, so I was a bit scared to be on the outside, but there's just enough room for a Subaru, so we get that done. Well played, Mike, with that recovery as well. In we go, and I'd say between the 50 and the marshal box, I was a bit closer to the marshal box that time, which is why I understeered it. Oh, who's that? We got a German off there. No idea how they went off, but hey, they're in the realms. Unfortunate for you. As we head down towards the chicane then, the ICT looking for a move on the Alfa Romeo in towards the braking zone. Oh no, where's that? Oh, that's another position for it. Oh, we've got to leave a bit of room. They're still there. Oh, beautiful stuff. They're well recovered, by the way, Sabolden. Oh no, Dalton's got us. Everyone's off. Everybody's blaming it here. Toby's been off as well. Everybody is off. They're all in the fence, as they say in the V8 supercar race. Right, we carry on now. We're in P7. My word, that all got exciting very quickly. Yes, the Alfa Romeo up ahead is probably the other car you can use here and get along quite well, to be honest. The high downforce on these high-speed corners really helps out massively. It keeps the car planted and carries so much more speed. In we go then, and we just click the left. We're trying to get a good run out the corner. You see how well the Alfa handles that. So, Erko Mutz. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. It does get it done well, but you can see here it loses out on speed because of that downforce. In towards the hairpin we go then. Keeping it tight, we're trying to look for the run out the corner. Not going to quite work here. Let's advance a bit further on then. This is turn 1, just leaving that corner. Oh, nearly in the grass there for the Spaniard, but so they're keeping it fine so far as we go through the right, then the left. Not suffering as much dirty air here, but look at the speed difference. This is where the speed difference is between the Subaru and the Alfa Romeo. We're 2 times up on the fastest lap as well. Oh, the Alfa goes defensive here. We're going going to try around the outside then of the Alfa Romeo. Look at this for racing as we keep on the outside here. Now, I was a bit scared about being on the exit, but the Spaniard is giving me just enough room here. Beautiful racing from Erko Mertz. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff here as we head down towards the chicane. And now too wide into the chicane really doesn't work. I'm just backing out of this really because I know it doesn't work, and the Spaniard keeps that position for now. Beautiful racing there as we continue on. So we're in the last corner here, going for that run out the corner. The one I explained earlier on, look how well it works. It worked against Subaru earlier, which is the same car, and it works against its Alfa as well. Look at the speed difference here. So we're looking towards the inside. Now, one thing that didn't cross my mind, and it only crossed my mind during this corner, and as you will see as well, as we go into the braking, that Alfa has huge downforce. So he's able to maintain itself around the outside with huge speed as we leave that corner. We're going to be side by side. Now, I do have the advantage here, but the Alfa looking to try and keep the position here as we go into this right. They just understeer a little bit, causes me to have to lift off completely here. I wasn't too happy about that, but I think I overreacted a little bit with the flashing as I checked the replay afterwards. So fair dues to the Spaniard for keeping that position. Very hard to do, and there was just enough room there for a Subaru as we go into this left then. Instead, we're trying to keep it at 100, and you can keep it. Oh, what am I doing? One of our advantages. Oh, I've got on the grass. Is at the end of this. Anyway, let's find out, because that's a big gap. We head down towards the kink then for the final time. Oh, the Alfa gets it wrong here. We're going to go for the old cut back here. Beautiful stuff. Just enough room for the Alfa Romeo. And we're getting the position done. Can we get Frank as well? Can we get another position in towards the last corner? We go. Slowing down the apex. This is the tight line. Keeping it tight, keeping it tight, keeping it tight. The Alfa tries to get the run out the corner. Just misjudges it slightly. But now we have a run on Frank as we head towards the line. Then it's Subaru versus Subaru. Boxer engine versus Boxer engine. Who gets it in the line? It's Frank, unfortunately. So we finish in the curse position. But a bit of a fun race that, to be honest with you. I think sometimes you won't get a good race at all here, and then sometimes you will get a good race. So fair play to the Spaniard behind as well in the Alfa. That was brilliant racing in the grand scheme of it. It really was. Beautiful stuff. Well defended on some of those corners, especially on lap 1. Let's head to race C. Oh look, a combo we've never seen before. Obviously, I hope you can sense the sarcasm there. Yes, it's Red Bull Ring. It's Group 3 machinery. Oh my word, we haven't seen this ever before in the entirety of GT Sport. What is going on? Please can we have some interesting races? I mentioned it in the video yesterday. Give us a race C where the weather each race is completely random. Like you could go in one race C and it's raining. Go in the next race C, it's dry and goes to rain. The next race C, it just does something absolutely wacky. I don't know. Thunderstorm, snow, hailstone, some weird dinosaur comes on the track. I don't know, just make it interesting because this is stupid. As you'll see when we look at the race details right now, we're racing 12 laps here at Red Bull Ring. It's a rolling start. Be careful at the last corner again, obviously, because the rolling start's not fixed. Racing hard tyres only. Wow, imagination. And tyres one tyre of what? Where is the strategy? Please can we have strategy? It is ridiculous. We just want a fun, interesting race. You know, strategy. Weird weather conditions. We have transitioning weather. Put it in the game. Let us use it in the daily races. Advantage, calm. Let's jump to the race then, and let's have a look. Oh, before I go actually, Heinz04, thank you again, you legend, for delivery. Now let's jump to the race, and let's have a look exactly what happened. Because we do have some good racing in here, but we do want strategy. We are then at the start. So, WRX, so it's actually a Supra on top. Now, the Supra is actually probably a good choice here. But the Subaru is doing very well as well. And remember, the manufacturer, that's not a partner. But apparently because the partner is a partner, weirdly. I don't know how it works. Hey, there we go. So, you can see here, starting on the last corner because, yeah. I mean, there's only 16 cars now, so there's only a couple of cars rather than 5 cars like it normally is with 20 cars. Because, yeah, GT7 things at the moment. Anyway, we're going to head towards turn 1 here. Be careful turn 1. Remember, cold tyres as we head into here. So I broke up another marker there, and I nearly missed it, to be fair. As we leave that corner, Sergeant Gross. I'm joking, mate. I'm joking. Just gross, you know. Anyway, we're on the inside of Sergeant Gross as we head towards turn 2. We need to make sure we get stopped here. Tyres are still cold. In we go then. And we just get it stopped there. Beautiful stuff as we leave that corner. They did go for the cutback. Not quite worked out as we fast forward. Now, up ahead we have someone called AMG GT3 Racer. I was hoping they were in a different car, to be honest, but no, they are in the AMG GT3, so fair dues to them. And somebody else, oh, they've got the Aston Martin DBR9 GT1 is gone. They should call it Group 3, actually, because that's where it sits at the moment. It's not in any other class, is it? But anyway, we continue on. there. So up it's P13. Wind is up ahead. Wind flies in this race, by the way, as you will see soon. But here we go. Oh, the AMG goes a little, well, I guess a lot of understeer actually. As we get close to them behind, they break a little bit late there as we leave that corner. We're going to go for the absolute run and a half. Now, I don't normally go for the move into turn 1 because it can be scary and usually loses you a ton of time. But even so, we're going for the move here just to get the job done. Don't lose a lot of time irrespective. So BMW Z4 up ahead. We hit the curve. Oh, we nearly binned it. We nearly binned it. But that AMG not fast enough on acceleration, so it can't get the advantage here as we continue on then. And the BMW Z4 went right, then goes left. He's got MasterCard on the side, but we're going to master this apex as we go into the braking zone. In we go. Oh, they turned it a bit too soon there. I was on the inside. That's a fair move in my book. I made the apex as we leave that corner. Sergeant Gross follows me through. Well played, Sergeant Gross. Look at that. Awesome stuff. I was going for the bumper draft here. Thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated as we head down towards this right-hander then. I have to go second gear here. Just stop the car a little bit because there was some bumper drafting there. Or bump drafting, as some people complain when I say bumper drafting. But let's drive a bit further on then as we see some action in the distance. We love a bit of good action here. In we go. Oh, no, the Swede's gone to Stenhord. Oh, dear me. Like a bit of a pit maneuver under braking. I'm not sure what happened there. As we continue on a bit further then. So we've caught up to, who's that? Ulanov. Are we on Assetto Corsa? A lot of Russians play Assetto Corsa. So I'm not used to it so much here with Gran Turismo. Anyway, round the outside. Oh, but the Subaru driver then, we've got a Beetle up ahead. I'm not sure I'd pick a Beetle here now. And it looks like we've got the run done and dusted then. And we're going to go defensive here in towards the corner, sit in the middle of the road. We're defending this, my good friend. And we get it done there. Beautiful stuff. Leave that corner. And then avoid the Subaru oversteering because when it gets on boost, it does like a little bit of wheel spin. It sure does. So we've got Tyler Cross up next in this Beetle. And look at the speed difference here between the two cars. So in towards this right-hander, trying to outbrake them here, trying to go for the trail braking, but the car just understeers to Narnia there, but we managed to save it just. And brilliant driving from the Subaru behind as well, avoids hitting me on the outside. Brilliant stuff so far. We've had to see some good driving this week. We really have. Apart from the German race 1, I think it was. I saw tyre smoke. Oh no, another spinner. Who's that? Oh dear, Fionn Lee goes to the route. We've seen a lot of crashes today, a lot of spins, but oh my word, it's been good fun seeing them. Now, if you do want to submit some of your clips, by the way, in terms of spins, of funny actions, funny moments, big moves, big overtakes, maybe dirty moves as well, make sure you check. Oh, speaking of dirty moves, I hit the rear tyre there. They broke quite early there and hard. But yeah, if you do want to submit your clips for me to react to them, check out the description. There's a form in there. Get it in and I will react to them. Make sure you put your socials in there as well. Oh, we get rear-ended from behind. Oh dear, that was a mistake. They do let off as well and let me back on the circuit. Now, if you get dirt on your tyres, start weaving. However, we're just going to advance a lap later and get on with this fight. Here we go then with Tyler Cross, the Beetle. Can we get past them as we then head in towards this corner? They defend it very well there and do that sort of pointy braking defensive driving as we leave that corner. They've got 44 on the side. However, we've got a bit of a speed advantage here in the Subaru as we go alongside then just here heading down towards this right-hander. They're going to try and do what I did earlier on. Are they going to manage to do it? Not quite. We stop at the apex beautifully. Job done. P7 is ours. Happy days indeed. As we advance further on, then we've got Jordan Campbell, we've got Stevie. And who else? I can't see who else is in front of Stevie and Jordan Campbell. So that's side by side here. Lap number 9 now. In towards the braking zone. We always got penalty up ahead actually. And Jordan going for the cutback. Not going to quite with Stevie. Oh, beautiful defensive drive there from Stevie. Stopped it on the apex. Brilliant stuff from these two. Side by side again. They head towards the seconder. I want a piece of this action now. I can say that much. I look down the inside then. I look to try and get the move done here. There was a Subaru-sized gap there. Just. Oh, it's close. It's close between me and Jordan and in towards the second left. And Jordan defends it beautifully then. And continues on through there. So Supra looking quite strong here as well. So a mixture of the two cars here. Might be a few other odd anomalies in terms of cars, but these two do very well. Basically, fast car will work. Now, lap guide for Red Bull Ring. You've seen this 1,000 times. What is another time again? So, 100 meter board, turn 1. You're braking just before this in the Subaru, not at it, just before it. And you're going to stay in 3rd gear. You want to clip the inside a little bit here, accelerate out. Be careful that boost coming on and getting wheel spin on the exit. It's why I use 3rd gear. Now, you can drop a gear and go a bit quicker there. I'm certainly not the quickest at the moment in Group 3 at this track because people have done it 1,000 times and I've done it like 10. But even so, we're going to head towards turn 2 now. Again, 100-meter board. Now, you want to brake a bit closer than I am when you're out of dirty air, but when you're in dirty air, in that slipstream, you're braking a bit earlier, but 100-meter board is your marker. And we're going to try and look here what's going to happen here as we leave that corner. Oh, Stevie! That's a wheel spin. When it goes on boost with the Subaru, you've got to be so careful of that happening because it just spins the rear wheels. Do be careful. The Supra does the same as well. So, heading down towards this right-hander. You're looking for the 100-meter board, but now you're braking about 120, 130 meters, so it's in between the 150 and the 100. Because it's downhill, obviously, it increases that braking distance just a tad here. Sometimes you want to drop to second, as I did there, and then short shift to third. I do third gear a lot here just to avoid that wheel spin. Second gear is quicker in the Subaru, which is why I'm losing some time to win here. Now, on the right side, the 50-meter board now, to get the 100, you're all about the 50. That is what you're looking for. Now, you can brake a bit later than I am here. I'm not sure why I'm braking so early, but even so, I am. As we then come into this corner and then accelerate through the corner. Don't run too wide. Do not run too wide on this curve. Now, as the short circuit meets the full circuit, that is your brake marker there. And this time, you want to brake a little bit earlier than you expect. Because what you want to do is get your tyre on the inside of the curb if you can. We don't quite do it here, but we can still accelerate through all the same. We slow it down enough there as we continue on out that corner. But if you get it hooked on the inside curb, it'll just drag you around a little bit. It's kind of nice. So, we're going to head towards the penultimate corner now. And hey, Bill and Brian are back. Hello, Bill and Brian. Hope you're well. We're braking, or should be braking a bit closer to them. Giving them a friendly wave as we do. But yeah, they're your markers there. You can't wipe them out. Trust me, they're as hard as nails. So we go into here, click the inside, accelerate through the corner. And then as we head towards this last corner, you're looking for the end of the Austrian flag on the left-hand side. You're not braking right at the end of it, you're braking before the end of it, but use that as your marker. Now, third gear for this. In the Subaru, you can accelerate through this and you should be fine. I get a little wiggle there, but that's more dirty air than it is from the actual boost coming on. Right, we've advanced a bit further on. Same couple of corners here. Let's see what happens as we then head in towards this right hand. And through we go. Oh, Jordan's got an indicator on. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, no, indicator was off and then back on again. Is Jordan letting me go? I'm not too sure here. I'm going to go for the move all the same. Ooh, you're left off as well. Brilliant stuff. As we then head in towards turn 1. Third gear it should be, but I had to slow the car down a bit more, which is why they dropped to second and short shift to third. Now, as we leave that corner, Jordan gets a brilliant run here. Hey, maybe this is some strategy from Jordan. Thinking, yeah, go for the move, Tidge. I'll get you back in towards the right-hander here because look at the speed! My word! Jordan gets a 1.5 in towards the break-in. We go. We try and get it stopped. Just get it stopped there. Jordan goes for the cutback. Beautiful effort with that cutback then. Now we saw how fast the Supra was out of turn 1. What are they going to do here? Heading down towards the right-hander then. It's side-by-side action. What's going to happen here? In towards the break-in zone we go. They're still side-by-side here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Jordan going a little bit too deep. I'm not too sure as we leave that corner. Jordan heads towards the left-hand side. Actually lifts off and lets me by there. Now, you are my driver of the week just for that because, in my opinion, it's a bit of a 50-50 there. There was still room on the left-hand side for me, and you still gave it up. I mean, fair play. I did want my hazards on as well. So, you are my driver of the week this week, Jordan. Big congrats to win there. Absolutely flying throughout this race, and we finished it in P5 overall. That's going to be it for this week's guide, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed it. I do wish the Gran Turismo people would get a bit of imagination for race C. As I say, if you have some funny racing clips this week, make sure you submit them in the description below. There's a form there. Just fill it out, and I will be reacting to them in due course. I can't speak anymore. Now, there are 2 videos there if you want to check them out. And my logo's there if you want to subscribe. And I really would love a like on the way out. It helps me massively and it costs me absolutely nothing. And hey, I can keep doing these videos then and make them bigger and better than ever. That's it for me, folks. Au revoir, farewell, and have a good week's racing wherever you are. here. We know the drill. It's a Monday night. That means we're going to be streaming. A bit of Gran Turismo 7, obviously. We all know that. 3 days in a row. How about that? Pretty cool, right? 3 days in a row. We're going to jump in. We have a fresh batch of daily races, which are weekly races, but Nürburgring Grand Prix in the GR86 or the BRZ. Group 4 Tar Mountain, 4 laps, or Group 3 Kyoto. Now the Kyoto ones are really interesting. I did it a couple of times today, and let's just say there's a very peculiar glitch. Let's call it a glitch. The curves, they're a bit funky around there. So we'll get to that, but we'll do Daily Race B first. I need to set a qualifying lap. I am yet to do that. So the GTR's the car to use. I just bought it just now. So is anyone using WRX there? So okay, maybe GTR or WRX, but we'll go for GTR for now. Jump into quali. And let's get a lap on the board, shall we? How are we, everyone? We all good? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all doing fine. Evening, chatto. Evening. Congratulations on placing ninth. I am fine. Albon did a good job. Started what? Was like 18th or something? I need to dye my hair red. Yeah. It's clearly the secret to speed, isn't it? Benson, hello.